Hello everyone, this is Teacher Joanna again, and for tonight's lesson, we're going to focus on three of the most confusing pronouns or personal pronouns in English, okay? Many people are confused when to use the personal pronouns I, myself, and me, okay? And this is actually like one question, okay, from a civil service exam reviewer, okay? So this is a question blank found blank uncomfortable when they ask blank a two personal question. And these are the choices. As you can see, the choices have I, myself, and me, okay? So we're gonna find out later which ones are actually the answer, but I know you have an idea, okay? But before that, let's talk about personal pronouns first, okay? Yeah, personal pronouns are actually also like the definite pronouns. When we say definite, okay, so they are totally the same. Okay, when we say definite, the antecedents are known. Okay, for example, if I say like Jermaine, okay, is my boyfriend, for example. He is very smart. Okay, so here the pronoun is she, and we know the antecedent, which is actually Germain. Now, for the indefinite pronouns, okay, of course, that is the opposite. The antecedents are actually like unknown. Okay, there you go. Okay, so the antecedents are unknown. Okay, now for that case, actually, okay, we actually like use, for example, here, like someone, okay, stole the book. Okay, so in this case, right, we don't know who that someone is. We don't know the antecedent of the sentence. Okay, so that is indefinite pronouns. Now, for personal pronouns, we have actually like different kinds. Okay, we have objective, subjective, possessive, and reflexive. Okay, right, so there are actually like, okay, three. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have, right, I'm gonna share it, okay, and then we can actually like have this one, right? We have subjective, okay, like what I said, we have objective, we have possessive, okay, and we actually like have, okay, possessive, and we have reflexive. Okay, so let's talk about those things, right? Yeah. Okay, so for possessive, we have actually like two kinds: the one that requires a noun after them, and the one that doesn't require nouns after them. Okay, so let's have that one. Okay, so we have like for the subjective, of course, they are used as subjects in sentences. Okay, for example, like blank, for example, like visited me. Okay, visited me. Okay, so visited me. Okay, there we go. Or visited, for example, Germain. Okay, so let's have like I. Of course, the first one is I visited Germain. Okay, the second one is actually like you. You visited Germain. The third one is she visited Germain. Okay, the next one is he visited Germain. And then the next one is actually like we visited Germain, and we also like have they visited Germain. And it, for example, like if a dog actually like visited Germain, you can say it visited Germain. Okay. Now, objectives are used as objects of the sentence. For example, Germain visited blank. Okay, there you go. Germain visited blank. Okay, so Germain visited I. Can I say that? No, because we need that as an we need the object form, which is actually like me. Germain visited me. Germain visited you. Okay, and then Germain, okay, visited her. Germain visited him. Jermaine visited me, visited us, okay, and Jermaine visited them, okay, and of course Jermaine visited it, okay, right. So that's the thing, okay. We're gonna skip the possessive form, okay. We're just gonna talk about that later on, okay, in our next videos, okay. But for now, since our focus is subjective, objective, and objective, we're gonna focus on this ones first, okay. So we have myself, okay, right. Remember this, that the subject, okay, should be the same with the reflexive pronoun. For example, if I say like okay, she hates herself, right? So she and herself are the same persons here. Okay, if I say like she hates her, okay, this is another girl. Okay, and then if she hates herself, this is actually like the same girl. Okay, the subject and herself are just the same. Okay, right, so here it's myself. For example, I hate myself. You hate yourself. Remember, for yourself we can have like two forms because it can be singular or plural, like you hate yourselves. Okay, right, and then let's move on now to our next part. We have like herself, and then of course himself, and ourselves. This is plural. Okay, so we have to use ourselves, and themselves. It's plural too. And of course, itself, right? Okay, for example, the dog bit itself, right? Okay, so that's the thing. The subject and the reflexive pronoun should be the same, okay? Right? Now, how can we know which pronoun to use, okay? I actually like saw a lot of people really confused about using them, okay? So let's first like use like let's talk about I, myself, and me. But it doesn't mean this is just about this. These are just representatives of our pronouns, our other pronouns, okay? So let's talk about that, okay? Let's go to that one. Okay, so we have I, myself, and me. Okay, so for that case, okay, let's have, okay, I, myself, and me. For example, mm, I is used as a subject in the sentence because it's subjective. Me is objective and myself is reflexive. Okay, so let's know that. Myself, okay, is reflexive. Remember, for reflexive, the subject and the reflexive pronoun should be the same person. And me, of course, is objective. Okay, let's have a bit of the sentence pattern, right? For sentence patterns, we actually like have like one is SV, or we have like subject and a verb. Okay, this is actually like intransitive verb. And then number two, we have like SVO, right? So we have like subject plus verb or VT in transitive verb plus object of the sentence. Okay, and then we have number three, subject plus linking verb, okay, plus complement. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk more about that later on. And then we have like subject plus VT plus indirect, okay, direct object plus direct object, right? We're gonna learn about this later on, don't worry. And you can request actually for me to discuss. Okay, and then we have like subject plus VT again, okay, plus object, okay, and then object complement. So SVOOC, okay, right? So as you can see here, the subject should be the subjective pronoun. So all these parts should be the subjective pronouns. And of course, if that is the objective pronoun should be used, okay? Indirect object, since that's an object, the objective pronoun should be used as well. Direct object as well. Okay, let's have one by one, right? Okay, for this one, of course, there's no object. Let's just keep that one. We can actually like just use I for that case. Okay, so for objective first, okay, let's have an example. For example, let's use like Germain again. And we're gonna use like me, of course, because that's the object. For example, Germain loves me, right? Okay, that's the object of the sentence. So of course, we have to use that, right? Let's give the complement since it has no object as well, right? Okay, so for example, here, indirect object and direct object. So SVIODO. Germain, okay, Germain gave me a book. Okay, so I am the receiver of the action. Okay, that is actually like the indirect object. Okay, right? Yeah, so this one, okay, the subject is Germain. Okay, the verb is actually like gave, that is transitive. And then we have indirect object me, and then we have direct object book. Now, some people are confused with this. Some people would actually like say that here, for example, Jermaine gave the book or gave a book for me. Okay, this one is not SVIODO, and me here is not the receiver of the action. Don't forget that. That's a common mistake, okay? It's totally different from the passive form. Later, I'm going to discuss the passive form, okay? So here, the sentence pattern is subject plus verb and then plus the object, okay? As you can see here, there's a preposition, so it cannot be the receiver of the action, okay? So remember that a preposition converts our noun or any pronoun, this is a pronoun here, into an adverb. So that is an adverb of cause and purpose. Okay. So it's not the receiver there. Don't forget that. Okay. And the difference is that here, the focus is the giving of the book. Okay, giving, since that is a giving verb. And this one, the focus is just the action. I gave the book, right? And what's the actual, like, the purpose for me? Okay, so that's the thing. That is one. So me, okay, because, okay, that is an indirect object. Okay, right? Yeah, so for this case, right, as you can see here, I use me here, okay, because we have for prepositional phrase, okay, let's have a bit about that. For prepositional phrase, we have the pattern preposition. Don't forget this one. This is very complicated. Preposition plus noun, okay, right? If that is preposition plus noun, okay, for example, like in the room, okay, this one is actually the preposition, okay, and the noun room is actually like the object of the preposition, okay, right? And we have the prepositional phrase, of course. The whole thing is a prepositional phrase, okay, and as you can see, it's still an object. Therefore, after a preposition, the object pronoun should be used, okay, right? So for example, um for me, right? Okay, we don't say for I. Okay, that is actually wrong. Okay, right? So that's the thing, right? And then for this one, okay, for SVOOC, for example, Jermaine, for example, calls me, for example, baby. Jermaine calls me baby. Okay, so me and baby are the same since it's object of the object complement. And this is an object, so we need to use an object pronoun. Okay? Now, let's talk about the passive form, right? For SVO passive, okay, you have to be careful with this. Okay, there are many people who are confused with this. Okay, for example, um me, okay, so I have to make it the subject, so it will be I, right? And in the present, so I am loved. I'm gonna have a separate discussion about active and passive if you're gonna request for that. So write a comment down below for your request. I am loved, okay, by Jermaine. Okay, so I am loved by Jermaine, right? Okay, so in that case, right, I can also say I am loved by him. After by, remember that the objective pronoun is used, so it's not he, it should be him. Okay, so it should be I am loved by him or by Jermaine. Okay, so that's the thing, right? And I use I there because it's now the subject of the sentence. Now, for indirect object, there are actually like two possible passive forms because there are two objects there. Okay, so for the first one, a book, okay, a book was given, okay, by Germaine. Okay, to me. Okay, there you go. So a book was given by Germaine to me. Or you can even interchange. A book was given to me by Germaine. Okay? So in that case, okay, actually this is not the receiver of the action here in this sentence anymore because there is a preposition. So it means it's the object of the preposition. Okay? So it's still we actually like use the objective form of the pronoun there. Okay, and then the other one, the other passive form will be like, okay, since I am the subject now, I was given a book, okay, by Jermaine, okay, or by him, right? So in that case, right, I can also like use like him because it's the object, okay, of the preposition. That's why we can use him. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, just remember the rules that we talk about. Okay, and then, right, for this case, for the passive form, we actually like say like I will me will become I because it's the subject. Okay, I am called, okay, baby, okay, by Jermaine or by him, right? Since that is like object of the preposition. Okay? Right? So that's the thing. Okay, don't forget that, okay? Please don't be confused with this part. Okay, now let's talk about reflexive. Like what I've said, for reflexive pronouns, the subject and the reflexive pronoun should be the same. For example, I love myself, right? Okay, so I and myself are the same. I talk to myself, right? I and myself are the same, okay? Right? And if I'm gonna make like SBIODO pattern, I gave myself, okay, a treat. Okay, so in that case, this is subject, this is verb, I owe, right? And then that is the direct object. I'm the receiver of the action, of my same action. That's why I use myself. Okay, SVOOC. Okay, for example, like I consider myself, for example, I consider myself energetic. Right? Okay, so the same thing. Okay, myself and energetic are the same, but the subject and myself are the same. That's why I use myself in this sentence. Okay? Right, so that's the thing. Okay, now I prepared here some questions, okay, and let's try to answer this, okay? The book was read by my boyfriend and blank, okay? So what is the answer? I'll give you a hint. There is actually by here. If there is by, what are these parts? Those are objects of the preposition. If those are objects, of course, the object form is actually like me, right? Okay, so the book was read by my boyfriend and me. Okay? Right now, for this case, my boyfriend and I, okay? Right? My boyfriend and blank, okay? Right? Read the book yesterday. I already gave the answer actually. So it's I because it's the subject of our sentence. That's why we need to use I. Boyfriend and I are the compound subjects, okay? Now, the book was a gift for blank. There's a preposition. So what's that? Me. Very good. And they like him and after the verb. So that is an object. Of course, that is me. Right? He likes giving. IODO. Right? Okay. In this case, oh, be careful with this. It's not SEIODO. The subject, this is verb. And we have like the object. Okay. It's a gerund phrase. Okay, so giving, and then object of the gerund. Okay, so it's still an object. That's why we have to use like he likes giving me new information. Okay, right. So that's the thing. Okay, and don't forget that if you have like any requests about discussing gerund phrases, participle phrases, I can also discuss that in the next videos that I'm gonna make. But for now, let's focus on this one and let's go to the civil service exam a while ago. Okay, so blank found myself uncomfortable when they asked blank a too personal question. So we have the subject here because we have the verb here. The subject is before the verb in basic English sentences, okay? And then we have like object and we have object complement uncomfortable. So the object and the object complement are the same. And then there is actually like a conjunction here, so it means that this is an adverb clause, okay? Right? Adverb of time actually. And then we have the subject inside a clause, we have the verb, okay, and then we have the blank here, okay. So as me, okay, so I-O, and then we have do, right? I am the receiver of the difficult or the too personal question. So objects, right? Okay, we need objects. And let's check first, okay? Right? Yeah, so for this one, okay, of course, it's very very clear that it should be I. Right? So ink, we have like we can omit the last part since there's no I. And I found blank. Okay, let's check. I and the blank are the same, right? I found me. Is that right? No, because that should be the same. So it should be myself. We can have this one, we can have that one. We can now remove letter C, okay? So either of the two. Now, when they ask they and then the blank, can I say they ask myself? No, this is a really common problem. The subject here is not I anymore, it's they. So they and the blank are totally different persons. So it should be like me. That's why the answer is letter B. Okay, so let's substitute that. Okay, the sentence would be I found, okay, myself uncomfortable when they asked me a too personal question. Right? Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so when they ask me too personal question, I find it, yeah, uncomfortable. Okay, there we go. So that's the thing. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, right? So when they asked me, okay, yeah, so that's the thing. This is IO and that is TO. So I hope that it helps. If in case you have some questions, feel free to comment down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's not forget, let's keep studying English grammar the fun and easy way. Have a good night, everyone.